Hey guys, today I'll be doing a quick review of 2024's Longlegs. It's a horror film. I just saw it yesterday. Um, yeah, I saw its trailer a couple months ago. Like most people, I was pretty captivated. It had incredibly strong marketing, a pretty gnarly trailer, um, which I think was almost too good in the sense that it created this sense of expectation and this general hype around the film. Um, Unfortunately, it just kind of didn't hit. But it's kind of hard for me to assess the film objectively, in a sense, divorced from, I guess, like the idea I had of it, or like the preconceived notion I had of it going into it. So it's a little bit hard to review in that sense. Um, is it like the trailer? Not really. Is it the scariest movie of the year? No. Is it particularly scary at all? Not really. Um, at its best, it's pretty tense, and I'm talking about the beginning of the film. Uh, I'll let you know if I get into spoiler territory. At its best, it's a pretty tense, like sort of psychological thriller, um, following the FBI detectives' pursuit of the killer, Longlegs, and trying to figure out the mystery around him and trying to piece together the puzzle, so to speak. However, um, by the end of the film, vaguely speaking, it becomes kind of something entirely different. Um, yeah. As for the performances, I would say the FBI detective lady, Lee Harker, has a pretty good character performance. And then there's Nick Cage, who plays the killer, the eponymous killer, Longlegs. And he, um, I don't know how to say this. Personally, for me, he was scary until you saw his face for the first time. Then it kind of just stopped being scary. But that's kind of me. But then there's also kind of like an objective element to it as well, in the sense that, well, I don't think this counts as a spoiler, but um, I don't know why, but I think I heard, I'm not sure if this is true, that he improvised a lot of this stuff, but um, he's like singing for most of his scenes. It's not a musical, by the way. He just is kind of like schizoing out, singing songs like very badly, terribly, and yeah, I kind of hard to like restrain my laughter in the theater because it's silly. And he has a pretty silly voice as well. And when he's just talking, he sounds like Mickey Mouse a little bit. And his makeup design is really not, I wouldn't say scary. He just looks like an albino who got stung by like 10 bees in the face. He's not particularly frightening. um, all right. I think we covered like the spoilery elements of the film. So, okay, let's move on to spoiler territory here. Okay. There the thing with long legs is that he's a Satan worshiper. He has occult powers or whatever. So it becomes like a supernatural type thing really quickly. I'm just not a big fan of supernatural stuff. Is not scary to me at all. I don't know why. It's just like it's just not real. I don't know what you want me to say. It's just like not real. So that's something I don't prefer, but that doesn't necessarily mean, I guess, that it's bad or not scary for other people or not well done. But I don't know. I guess my suspension of disbelief can only go so far, and sorry, I don't believe in like that sort of stuff, like paradox of fiction, almost kind of stuff. Whatever. Okay. Anyway, so it turns out that he's like a Satanist, and that's how he's committing all these crimes or whatever. He's like I don't know. He's teaming up with the FBI agent's mother to put dolls with Satan in them into these victims' houses, which possess the father to kill the family. So that's how they're like, wow, there's no sign of forced entry into the houses. It seems that there's forensic evidence that these were murder suicides, but yet at every single house, there's a note and some cryptography with the name Longlegs. Like, how does this happen? And instead of like, I don't know, coming up with like a clever explanation or something like that, or like rooted in like, I don't know, realism, which I think would have been more interesting. I don't know, Silence of the Lambs or something. I guess they kind of, I don't know, it just feels like hand wavy. It was the supernatural, bro. Like, I don't know, I don't want to be mean. It's just, I don't know. It just seems a little contrived and lazy to me. And this is all revealed literally at the end in like a big exposition dump. And yeah, it just doesn't make much sense. I don't know. I just don't find that type of stuff compelling, okay? All right, so I guess like to wrap up what I'm saying here. Um I don't know. It's not that I wouldn't even say memorable. I probably won't remember it. But I don't know if it's necessarily bad. It's hard for me to say. It's definitely a letdown if you come in with the expectations that it's like, I don't know, like a profound or, I guess, singular event for the horror genre. You're going to be let down. But I don't necessarily know if that means it's bad. I don't know. Like I said, it's hard for me to separate the expectations from the reality for this film in particular. That's not often something that I worry about personally, but anyway, it's here. So, should you watch it? Because of what I said, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend seeing it in theaters, I guess, but maybe if it's on streaming. I guess I didn't even talk about like the technical elements. I mean, the shots are all good. It looks really nice and like aesthetic, I suppose. Not to use that overused word, I guess, but it looks nice. Yeah, so it's written and directed by Oz Perkins, I think's his name. I haven't seen any of his other films, but yeah, I think there's one called like The Black Coat's Daughter or something like that. Anyway, so I didn't have expectations in that regard. All right, I'm rambling like way too much. All right, Longlegs. Should you see it? If you'd like to, I suppose. Watch it on streaming. Just, I wouldn't expect to be terrified or blown away or, yeah, it's serviceable, I suppose. Maybe you'll find Nick Cage scary, or maybe you'll be laughing like me. Either way, I hope you have a good one.